Started strong. They've made some mistakes. 2 turnovers, 10 penalties. We got 20 yards. Stay sharp on offense. Flutie, 4 touchdown passes in the first half, and they did pressure new guy with 6 sacks. The game note. This is what it's all about, and I don't know who picked him, but that man deserves a medal.
Yes, Chris Walby, a member of the Mensa Society.
The only Mensa I know is the Mensa room.
Flutie deep for Daryl Mitchell. Coverage from Eddie Davis, and he bats it down. You still laughing about that, are you?
It's pretty quick.
Daryl Mitchell stretching the Stampeder defense, but Eddie Davis step for step.
Well, you can see him go right down the seam right here. Is a nice, just a speed route. Ball's kind of hung up there, and whenever that happens, it also allows the defensive back to come back and make the play, and it just becomes a fight for the ball. And actually, when the ball is up there, they have the right as much as the receiver to go for it, and that's what usually happens.
The ball was underthrown as Mitchell had to slow down and come back to it, allowing Davis to take control. 2nd and 20, Argos. Flutie pumps one, steps up in the pocket, throws wide side, incomplete. And Masadi is slow to get up.
Well, his ribs are bugging him, as you can see. He's stretching out, but he tries valiantly to come back for the football. Ball is pretty much uncatchable. Doug Flutie was mentioned earlier, 4 touchdown passes. One of the things I find very, and I don't want to make fun or light of this, he passed Tobin Rote, who was the previous record holder for Toronto, who had 38 touchdowns, right?
Right.
And I look up his bio on this guy, and this is the bio. A Greek godlike figure with a passion for the good life. Now I'm thinking, is this a football player? Huh?
You sure that wasn't your own bio?
I'm telling you.
Greek godlike figure. Terry Vaughn sidesteps some early pursuit and then is hammered. Norm Casola in on the tackle. Let's go down to the sidelines, and here's Caroline.
Enjoying the game this afternoon is Merwin Mondesir, one of the stars of Riverdale, CBC's new primetime soap opera, which airs every Monday and Tuesday night at 7 p.m. and again on Sundays at 11 a.m. right here on CBC television. You can also catch Merwin on Straight Up, the acclaimed CBC drama series returning to the network later this season.
Are we sure we found the right guy?
We are eliminating all possibilities.
Is he ever pumped up for that, too? Here's Dickinson, rolling to his right, looking deep down the sideline, and it's complete. Alan Pitts with the catch. Once again, Chris Walby. If you want to do some writing, go ahead.
Well, I tell you what, we could write, but I tell you what I like is that they got Alan Pitts open. He made the catch, and they're moving the chains. Dickinson is doing different things this half. They are looking a lot sharper. They're probably saying, you know what, when you go back, had we started the game like this, the score might be different.
Alan Pitts with some contact before getting open, and then Don Smith quickly corrals him. But it's a first down for the Stampeders. Playing much stronger in the second half. Argos yet to score with 1.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Ooh, lots of contact. Don Smith filling again. Lewis on the catch, and there's a flag.
Well, Alan Pitts and Johnny Harris down the field from the catcher involved in a little altercation, and they're going to call Pitts for illegal contact downfield or maybe a pick play.
Dave Ewell.
Forward pass interference. Calgary number 18. First down repeated.
You can see here he is. Watch me. Lines up. Nice shake and bake. Get some music set to that. He does a great job getting by him. Runs down there. Now, I don't know. Now, Johnny Harris gives him a shot. Now, how you can call Alan Pitts for that? I know they're going to call a pick play. But I got to wonder about that one, because as far as I'm concerned, he was trying to get out of Donald Smith's way. That's a questionable one.
Victimized on that one, Alan Pitts. Still grousing as he lines up.
Grousing, is that a hunting term?
Here's Dickinson to Travis Moore. What a hit! Antonius Bonner impales him at the 41.
Well, anytime you're going to slant inside underneath the coverage, you know you're going to take a shot. He takes a shot in the ribs and gets up, and he might be a little unhappy. You see Dickinson just spreads him right here. Bam. Nice job of not only tackling the guy, but driving, as you said, impaling, I'll use your word, Mr. Mark Lee, into the turf, trying to make the football part of his body.
It's an attacking Argo defense, and there's a timeout on the play with an injured Stampeder. Travis Moore shaken up after that brutal shot from Antonius Bonner. We're back right after this.
Oh, hi. It's Midas-Size days, and that's why we can't afford a color commercial. But what we've saved, we're passing on to you. Midas will give you a lube, oil, and filter, top up fluids, test antifreeze, rotate your tires, set the pressure, and check lights, hoses, and belts. All for just $34.95. And they'll even inspect your brakes for free. See? It's right here in black and white. Midas, the way it should be.
Pat Clayton of the Stampeder training staff helping Travis Moore to his feet after he was rocked by Antonius Bonner.
Wow, I tell you, Toronto, we talk about their offense all year, all the stars, but defensively, if these guys put up some numbers, look at this. They lead in 24 or 25 categories this season. Average points per game allowed, 14.6. First downs, 14.3. Offense, 257. But the big one is right here, the first downs. And why? It's because the less you keep that other team or allow that other offense on the field, it means more time for Doug Flutie to have his offense on the field. And that's the key stat that Don Matthews likes.
That is zero tolerance, and there's one of the stars of that defense, Lester Smith, who at this time last year was sitting at home because he's a rare American at the safety position. Dickinson looking deep downfield to Alan Pitts, close coverage and nearly intercepted. Donald Smith was step for step with the rangy Alan Pitts.
Well, I think you mentioned something, good coverage on that play, but getting back to the stats, yeah, Lester Smith has had some incredible stats, but let's give Toronto, the coaching staff, some kudos here. They have got a great philosophy, a great game plan. They're so well coached that everybody who is a contributor, he doesn't believe there's no I in team, it's all team.
But I mentioned last year at this time he was at home because the Argos employed Dan Murphy and George Namako at the safety position, typically a Canadian role in the CFL, but Don Matthews remembers him from earlier teams down in Baltimore, called him up, and that was a shrewd move because he is strong in that safety position.
Well, it's not very often you have your safety, you have 5 sacks.
He had 4 in one game against the Bombers. Remember that? When he was lining up on the line of scrimmage. Here's Adrian Smith. He drops the punt and is quickly corralled by Aldi Henry. And is he excited or what? 47-yard punt and a negative 3-yard return on the play for Adrian Smith. It's 34-9 Toronto. Matthews now 1 quarter away from becoming the most successful coach, I'll get it out, in CFL history. His Argos up big time here as we enter the 4th quarter. And now a look at the Canadian Tire 3rd quarter stats story, Chris.
Well,
and he's not too happy about it.
We'll get back to that. I'm just, what does sexful mean? Is that a good thing?
That's what you call a spoonerism.
Spoonerism. Well, I'm sure he'll take it any way he can get it. One thing I like about what Don Matthews has done is he's done it with 5 teams. We talked earlier about Wally Buono having 102 wins. He's tied with Bud Grant as the only coach to have more than 100 wins with 1 franchise, which is pretty amazing itself.
It is. And as you mentioned, Don Matthews doing it every which way on the direct snap to the pinball, and he is stopped quickly. Johnson, Miles working well together, and we have the 3rd quarter stat story now all warmed up.
And you can see Calgary's improved. They had 2 first downs. They've got 7. They've done some things this second half, this 3rd quarter. Toronto still at 14 first downs. They're kind of becoming a little stagnant. 245 yards, 96 net yards for Calgary versus the big 312 for Toronto. And time of possession, kind of amazing that they've really picked it up, 23 minutes ahead of Toronto with 22 minutes.
Ball control in the second half, the story for the Stamps, but they still can't get a touchdown. There's Andre Kerwin, the rookie, across the middle at full tilt speed, and it's good. 17-yard gain on the play for Kerwin, born in Winnipeg, coached at Stanford. There's Frank Clare, 80 years old, sitting next to his daughter Robin. He holds the record, 147 wins, tied right now with Don Matthews. What a great guy.
A great guy, and if you look, we can't really get a pan there. He's got a piece of paper. He's going over some game notes. I think he's going to design some stuff. You can see right here, but it's right in here. His wife is pretending, or his daughter's pretending he doesn't see it because we don't want to give away the plays right now.
Flutie on the option tries to get rid of it with pressure from Jackie Kellogg.
He's going to be doing a little consulting work for the Toronto Argonauts.
Don Matthews, who has deferred credit for the all-time coaching record, saying it's a team game and the players win the games. I think he's being a little modest.
He is definitely being modest. We talked about the fact he's had 5 teams. He's won everywhere he goes. He surrounds himself with not only outstanding coaches, but he's got his player personnel, and his scouts have got to be recognized as well for bringing in the talent they bring in year after year, franchise after franchise.
There's the biggest acquisition of them all, Doug Flutie. Flutie in trouble with a flag on the play, scrambles and is hit hard. Marvin Pope and Anthony McClanahan put a lick on Doug.
Well, this seems to be a different second half for Calgary. Toronto's going to probably get flagged for holding here.
Toronto 54. Penalties declined. 3rd down.
Jeremy O'Day in getting a holding call. Calgary is really coming up. They've kept the same pace. They're just not making as many mistakes. You watch him right here. He's at the bottom of your screen. He's working on Jermaine Miles. He's got the collar on him. You can't have that hand around the neck. Referee does a nice job making it. Throwing the flag.
Jeremy O'Day, who has a touchdown catch this year in that interesting alignment the Argos threw against the Bombers.
But we were talking about the fact that Don Matthews has so much talent. Jeremy O'Day's another rookie. They have so many rookies. They got Andre Kerwin, who's a rookie.
3 first-year players on the offensive line. As Marvin Coleman is pulverized on that punt return. Don Smith again leading the way.
And here's the Argo pack to scoring. Watch this. Pinball Clemens, just a 2-yard out, sits down. Nice grab right there from Doug Flutie to make it 7-0.
That was rough going, and then Doug Flutie finds Kalen on a safety blitz, and Dimitrition wide open in the end zone for the 2nd TD of the half.
And they go again on a big, long 56-yarder. Leonard misses a tackle. Clemens easy Johnson. 21-3 at this time.
Number 2 on the day, and then Old Faithful Paul Masadi twists and turns just inside the goal line. 4 TD passes from Flutie in the opening half. And they've got oxygen on the bench just in case these guys get tired. Here's Dickinson, flush from the pocket. Stewart and Reggie Gibbons finally brings him down.
And we talked about this, and we're going to talk about this until they put the cows back to pasture, but they keep bringing so many people. They can't block them all. Watch this. Here's Gibbons coming. There's Lester Smith in here. There's so many people coming after him. Unless you stretch this offense and get away from it, you're never going to make him get out of this offense.
Look at Drummond. He's got his hands on the ball. You know, he really can't stand watching. He feels like he's out of it. He's not part of the team.
Well, anybody that's ever been injured in any sport, it doesn't have to be football. If you're not contributing, you really feel empty. You don't enjoy the win because you weren't part of the win. And that's why he wants to get back, because he's a true professional.
Terry Vaughn makes the catch and is drilled by Don Smith. And Andre Ware is warming up on the Argo sidelines. Ware has thrown only 25 passes this year, completing 14 for 1 touchdown.
Illegal contact on an eligible receiver. Toronto number 7. 1st down.
Well, as you could probably hear, Johnny Harris had his way with the words there. Did not believe it. I think it was a bull rider term he used.
Andre Ware, who broke 28 passing records at the University of Houston, the NCAA, 1st-round pick in Detroit, couldn't make it in the NFL, and is trying to rekindle his career under the tutelage of another Heisman Trophy winner, Doug Flutie.
Doug Flutie and Johnny Jenkins, who coached him to all those records at the University of Houston.
The other backup in this game is Dave Dickinson, who started because Jeff Garcia has a viral infection and can't play. He goes back to Terry Vaughn again. And Adrian Smith makes the tackle.
And you're talking about the viral infections or the turf burns that cause infections. We've had Chris Burns had one. Danielson has one in his elbow right now. Bruce Coverton's just recovering from an infection.
There's Jeff now.
And there you can see it. His elbow is puffed up. You can get a shot of it.
Yeah, it's his right arm.
Right in here, you can see right there the patch where they drain the swelling out. It swells up. It's a bursa sac. They have to drain it and fill it with antibiotics.
Dickinson steps up, and it's complete. right down the middle of the field to J.P. Esquardo. 23-yard pass and run to number 23.
Well, that's JP's second catch of the year.
The hat is on.
And you can see right here, this is a good sign that your quarterback's not playing anymore when he puts the team hat on. Another good day for Doug Flutie. It's just commonplace, and I think people start to take it for granted. His number, 16 of 28.
But just 2 completions in the third quarter.
It's kind of tough sometimes when you're up that many points, so I think.
It is, and Doug has mentioned at times he is sometimes guilty of being too complacent, of not wanting to throw picks, of becoming a bit more conservative in the offense. And there's a flag on the play.
Yeah, one of the tackles, I think it was the left tackle, Rocco Romano, just trying to
illegal
get an
procedure. Calgary number 57. Still first down.
Well, I had the tackles right.
It's the other end.
Chris Burns. What you can see was 59 had actually put his hand down late. When you set, you have to go down in cage. You just can't throw your hand down any time. And it was Rocco Romano. And we'll have a chat with the referee after and probably divvy up his game check.
Chris Burns into his pass block stance with Dave Dickinson in the shotgun. Dickinson over the top, crossing pattern to Vince Danielson, and he is rode across the first down marker in the 25 by Donald Smith. A 17-yard pickup and a first down, and he's got those big gloves going well today.
Boy, he lines up at the top of your screen. He just pushes off. Marcelo Simmons comes across. Whenever you come across, we've mentioned this time and time again, it's a catch-up. Marcelo Simmons has to catch up, does a job, but not before he gets a first down.
Danielson into the game with 6 touchdowns and more than 1,000 yards in his receiving department. The first time he's done that in his career. Dickinson wide open and complete for another first down. Vince Danielson going to work.
They found something late in the game here that's working for him, and you can see Danielson again. He lines up, just finds a hole. He's looking for the ball right now. They're in zone coverage, just gets the ball, turns, and heads north.
Barely had the ball, and he was on his way. First down. Calgary with their first serious deep threat of the ball game here in the fourth quarter. Scrimmaging at the Toronto 13. Dickinson. And it's incomplete. Looking for Kelvin Anderson on the corner. Close coverage from Kenny Benson.
And that's the way you'll beat these guys right now. If Toronto is going to bring all these guys from the outside, that time Marcelo Simmons, not only one do you have to get the ball away, but you got to make sure you have an outlet receiver. Right now, you see him coming. Danielson picks him up, but nobody picks up number 9.
Well, you see this often happens to a young quarterback thrust into the game, as Paul Masati watches from the Argo sideline alongside Don Matthews. Late in the game, he's had a chance now to study this game and this defense for 3 quarters, and now he's starting to click.
Well,
here's Dickinson under pressure. Can't get it away. Drops the ball. It's picked up. Reggie Gibbons is gone by a country mile. 81 yards. Gibbons lopes to the end zone for the Argos after fellow linebacker Kenny Benson strips the ball from Dave Dickinson.
Well, another blitz. That's the forte of Toronto. They all come.
I'm not sure whether the arm was in motion and it could have been called an incomplete pass. We'll have to look at the replay as Gibbons is celebrated.
Well, you can see Gibbons here is working on Chris Burns. Just comes outside. The ball gets stripped, or he fumbles the ball, picks it up.
That's an Argo bounce if I ever saw one.
Well, they've had a few today. Doug Flutie fumbled the one on the quarterback keeper that came right back to him. But good teams get good breaks.
Reggie Gibbons, the Argo defender, with the touchdown today, the 5th for the Argos, the 1st for the defense. And it's 40-9 as Vanderjack attempts the point after. Vanderjack awaiting the signal. Time ticking now, 3 seconds to go. The Argos running down the play clock. Vanderjack's point after is good. And the Argos, with 7:24 to go in this football game, have a commanding 41-9 lead as the defense snares one for Toronto.
Grand Am drivers get married. Pontiac Grand Am, built for drivers.
As Canada's auto parts store, Canadian Tire offers you even more. Like our Loan a Tool program. If you need an auto tool, just come to our auto parts counter, choose from a selection of specialized tools, and we'll loan you one at no charge. And there's more. You can also bring your brake drums and rotors to any Canadian Tire auto parts counter, and one of our staff will expertly machine them for you. It's convenient, and you know the job will be done right. Canadian Tire, Canada's auto parts store, made better.
I was heading out to eat with a double date for dinner in mind. 2 double cheeseburgers, 2 fries, and 2 drinks. 2 can dine for $7.99. Ooh, 2 double cheeseburgers, including 2 medium fries and a drink for me and a friend. That's right, 2 can dine for $7.99. A deal like that for a double cheeseburger like this? I've got a double vision for dinner. For hot eats, cool treats, think DQ.
Linebacker Reggie Gibbons with his first touchdown of a CFL career on a 91-yard fumble return to the end zone. Well, that was a beauty as this swarming Argo defense hits pay dirt. Marvin Coleman back inside his own 10 to return this kick. Wide side now up through the hash marks and drilled at the 35-yard line. A 66-yard kick and a 24-yard return before Brendan Rodgers puts the grab on Coleman. Not fit to play football. He was dumped. The Argos picked him up, and he gets his first touchdown of his career on a 91-yard fumble return. There was some question about whether the arm was in motion. Let's see if it was or not.
Watch, he's sitting right down here, and we can just and freeze it right there. Run it a little bit. You can see right here his hand has not raised up right now. If we run it further, he doesn't get an opportunity to pull a hand up to go into throwing motion, which would have been an incomplete pass. It is a fumble. Touchdown.
First down, Calgary at their own 35. Tough day for Dave Dickinson. Inside route to Terry Vaughn, bobbles it, pulls the handle, breaks 2 tackles, keeps going. Tough effort before Marcelo Simmons stops him with a 19-yard gain.
You want to know why you want to get the hands in the ball in this guy's hand? This is why. Dickinson, nice shot. He comes across the middle. Nate bobbles the ball. Enough concentration to hold it right through 2 tacklers. Lester runs right over Lester Smith. Great job.
Great job by Terry Vaughn, who's only 5'8", 175 pounds.
But you don't be measured in size, you measure in heart. And that's 5'8" of heart.
And there's Dickinson bobbling the snap. Gets it away, though, and Vaughn's wide open. Oh, look at Vaughn. Worked for that yardage. This time he stuck Donald Smith, one of the toughest corners in the league, for a 13-yard pickup.
Well, he stuffed Donald Smith, but he took a shot from Johnny Harris. Johnny Harris thought he'd stay down. He didn't, and Donald Smith had to come put the finishing touches on him.
It's Johnny Harris, who had the pick last week.
The big pick against Montreal, the backbreaker. So he catches the ball right on the outside, tries to make some run. Donald Smith comes. Nice hit right there.
I'm telling you, it took 3 guys to bring him down.
That's effort. That's what you want, and that's what you gotta like when you see a team down 41-9, but they're still fighting for every yard.
Dickinson,
get rid of it,
backside. Wow, he took a shot from behind. Reggie Gibbons drilled him from the blind side just as he got the ball off, and the look of concern on Danny Barrett's face.
Well, they're going to have to make some adjustments on offense, and anytime you bring that many guys, remember, they cannot cover.
Flag on the play.
Toronto, first down.
Well, they're calling a little pass interference on Toronto, but when they bring that many people from the outside, you can't possibly cover everybody on the receivers of Calgary. If any team is playing Toronto, they got to start doing adjustment routes, coming in, getting the hot patterns. See, number 9 here has got a good hand. Oh, he's all over Vince Danielson.
Marcelo Simmons.
If you're going to take him to the dance, you got to buy 2 tickets.
And so it's first down. Calgary whistles on the play and more flags. The ball is thrown incomplete to Alan Pitts, but the play has been nullified by the whistle.
Illegal procedure, Calgary 57, still first down.
So Chris Burns is tabbed for procedure, and the yardsticks will go back 5, make it 1st and 15 Calgary.
Well, mistakes will kill you and put you in a better position.
They just announced